How you loving? How you loving? How you loving? Today, in this Money Spell, we are going to explore the secret sauce, the fuel in the engine of your elevation financially. That's what we're talking about in here. Get on in here. How you loving? How you loving? How you loving? I am Reverend Valerie Love, also known as KAISI, and I'm here for the upliftment of all humanity, here for your freedom, spiritually, mentally, emotionally, physically, and financially. This is a spirituality channel. We talk all about magic, money, and metaphysics. Welcome. And around here, we like to say how you loving, because that's all the universe really wants to know from you, baby, is how you loving. How you loving? All right. So today is day. How you loving? How you loving? Woo, yay. We're live. We're live together. We're live together. Family, I've got to tell you, this has been quite the journey over the last few weeks, going to Greece and Italy. And last night, when we had our initiation class, our classes in CCW, last night we had our coven meeting, which the coven meets on Wednesdays. If you don't know about the coven, that's at christianwitches.com. So we had our coven meeting last night. Hi, Lemon, Denver, yay! Welcome, Lydia. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So we had our coven meeting yesterday. And while I can't talk about anything that goes on in the coven meeting, of course, in mystery school, we had mystery school last night. I am really, really, really thankful for our magical community that dives deep and delves deep into the occult sciences, because 90%, 90, perhaps 95% of this whole universe is unseen. Maybe 99% of it is. Kabbalah teaches us that 99% of the universe is beyond the time-space continuum. It's beyond space and time. It's beyond the third dimension. 99% of reality. That we live in a 1% fake reality. So that would have to mean that there are many, 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 many energies, potencies, and powers that are available to us beyond this time-space continuum. And I'm so happy and so thankful for the people that want to learn it. So congratulations to you, because I wanted to know, is there more? And I was told yes. And then I said, could you tell me? Yes. And then I prepared myself and I did you must do the initiations. You must do the preparation. You must do the meditation, the going within. You must change your mind. It's a process of alchemy. Alchemy is turning your base self, your ratchet, hellion self into the glorified divine being you are. Let's have a deep breath. Root into the now. Root into now. Be here now. Don't think about tomorrow, next week, what you have to do when this is over, where you're going, where you've been, who said what, who did what. Come be here now. Now. And make it a life habit. Make it a way of being to be here now. No continuous thinking about what you have to do. That produces overwhelm. Be here now. Beloved, relax. I place the future in the hands of God. A Course in Miracles. And breathe. Drawing life force from the breath. And God breathed into the man and he became a living soul. This is an esoteric pointer to prana, chi, energy, ruach, life force, breath. Breathe, and you're energized by the breath. You're sustained by the love of God through one way is through the breath. There's many ways we're sustained by the love of God. One way is through the breath. Breathe well, beloved. Be here now and breathe well. Let's do it now together. Yes. Great, great, great forces, potent forces of this potent universe. It is with the all mind, that we now send this word forth in the all mind, from inside the all mind to all aspects of the all mind, calling forth beauty, riches, prosperity, abundance, wealth, success, accomplishment, evolution, ascension, going higher, being better. This is so even now. Ashe. Now, with your eyes closed, take careful note of the spirit team surrounding you. Take careful note of magicians, witches, wizards, warlocks who have gone, necromancers, sorcerers, including Christ, who have gone before you, who are well versed in the magical arts and sciences. And give thanks that your consciousness has created a magical bond, a magical connection with these powerful adepts. Give thanks for magic. Now see your ancestors. Giving thanks for our ancestors. See the angels that surround you. You're not in this life alone. Beloved, you are not in this life alone. You are surrounded, as Dr. Donald Hoffman calls it, conscious agents. You are surrounded by conscious agents, uncountable conscious agents in the universe, uncountable. We could call these conscious agents Orisha. We could call these conscious agents angels, archangels. We could call them devas. We could call the conscious agents ascended masters, and on. The Loa, we could call the conscious agents the Loa. All would be appropriate according to your own spiritual path to commune with higher order beings. You do it every day, all the time. Now we make it conscious and intentional. Yes. When you're ready, open your eyes slowly, slowly, slowly. Look down first and then raise your gaze. Look to the left and to the right. For me, to the right and to the left. It's reversed on screen, and up and down to situate yourself back in your body. How you loving? All right, family, let's get into day 23. First of all, I do want to let you know that I am in a challenge called 75 Hard, and this is day 3, and I woke up feeling amazing. I'll give you more on it as I go. All right, screen share. Here we go. Now, we're going to now get into the fuel in your wealth tank. Tell yourself, this is the fuel in my wealth tank. The fuel in your wealth tank is your feeling. Your feeling nature is is the powerful mover in your life. Your feeling nature, your feelings. And it can't be Out of a 24-hour day, you sleep for 6 to 8 hours. And for the rest of the 16 or so hours, you are walking around feeling broke, busted, disgusted, defeated. You have kind of an air of like, what was the name of that character on Charlie Brown? He was like a schlep rock kind of character that just bad and doom and gloom followed him. He had like this whole, was it a cloud over him and it just rained where he was or something like that. It was some kind of, not the dirty one that was just kicking up dust everywhere he went. He was just super dirty. He was happy. He was just dusty and dirty. There's other one. Might have been Charlie Brown. It might have been another show or series or creation. That there's a being. Okay, I'll give you another one. Did y'all see that movie with the different characters inside the girl's brain? There was disgust, there was joy, and there was sadness. And then there was something else in there too. Joy was always trying to lift the party and make them feel better and make them feel so wonderful. And the girl was moving and she was super sad and super like, ah. And sadness in her consciousness was just always like, ah. That's the energy we're talking about. What's the name of that movie? If anyone knows the name of that movie, put it in the chat. That's the energy we're talking about. We're talking about a gloom and doom spirit, a consciousness that expects gloom and doom. I used to have it. Why did I used to have it? Where did it come from? I grew up in New York City. Things were always popping off. As I was growing up, things were always happening. I also grew up around a lot of alcoholics. Not everyone was an alcoholic. We had alcoholism in our family. And some of the alcoholics in the family, you know, they would be drinking in Coke 45 and all that 1 minute and the next minute and playing bid whist and slapping cards on their head. Pow! Ooh, we just ran to Boston. My people loved bid whist. They loved all of that. They loved that stuff, right? Pinochle, they loved that. And then the dudes used to sit on the street and play dominoes, bam, and bam the domino down on the table, right? All that stuff. We had a lot of antics in the hood. It was a lot going on. It was a lot. And they would be playing bid whist on the card table. You knew that they were going to play cards because they brought out the card table. And the card table wasn't always up in grandma's living room because grandma had a respectable living room, right? With the plastic on the sofa that you couldn't sit on. And if you got to the edge of that thing, it'll slice your leg wide open. And if it was hot and you sat on that thing and you would have to peel your skin off like an inch at a time because that heat and that, y'all ain't messing up my sofas. You know, the whole grandma sofas. Well, in every so often, they would play cards. And when they would play cards, they would bring out the card table and it had 4 legs on it. You know, it was like a flat surface, like a little cushiony flat surface. And you turn it and you pull out the legs, each one of the 4 legs. And then you put it down and then, you know, here come the deck, the bicycle deck, you know, that little bicycle deck of cards. And they getting ready and they maybe play some bets. I don't know. I was too little to figure out everything they were doing. And drinking. And I'm going to tell you something. If there got to be too many drinks after too many hours of playing bid whist, that table was about to get turned over. And grandma was going to have to shut them all down. Okay? Because they didn't play with her. That was the one they didn't play. Grandpa would be drunk with the rest of them, but grandma, they didn't play with her. So, yeah, it wasn't about to go down like that. So then she would just scurry them all out. You're drunk, you would get in bed, you go home, you do this, you sit down, you know. Yeah. So when you are growing up, remember we said you 0 to 7 sets up your character. You know, from conception in the womb to about 7 is when your character is pretty well set. how you're going to be. It doesn't mean you can't change it. It means that there are certain things that got embedded in there during your formative years when you were just a blank slate and you didn't know how this whole thing worked, or you were back again in another life and it's like you went through the sea of forgetfulness, so you didn't really remember all of the trials and tribulations of this very dumbed down dimension. By the way, according to the physicists and the scientists, they tell us that the time-space dimension is one of the simplest. It's not even dense. It's a pretty thin illusion because it's only 11 dimensions to this time-space construct that we live in. And according to the physicists, it breaks down at 10 to the minus 33 centimeters, 10 to the minus 43 degrees. After that, you have a black hole. If you try to keep going deeper and deeper and deeper with your observation, because you need light waves that are packing more and more and more energy in a tinier and tinier and tinier space, so you can observe these tinier and tinier and tinier things. And if you go past 10 to the minus 33 centimeters, you create a black hole. Now, I did not say that in the most scientific terms. I said that in layman's terms that I can understand, and hopefully you can understand. If you want the whole full scientific, if you're really a great nerd, I like nerds. I'm a nerd of things myself. We talked about nerddom when we were in Italy. We talked about your nerd. Everybody has their nerd. And Harmony is a bird nerd. And we had a couple of people, she knows like all the birds, all the calls, all those things. And we were talking about your nerdiness. And nerdiness is good. So I'm kind of nerdy with certain things. So if you're a science nerd, go look it up for sure. Look up Donald Hoffman. Now, because we live in a time-space illusion, this whole thing, it's not one thing here is real. How do you know it's not real? A Course in Miracles tells us, and all the spiritual teachers and the gurus and the witches and the wizards, they're always on the other side of the veil, talking to beings, doing things out there that influence this thing. How do we know? Well, A Course in Miracles gave us a criteria by which to judge if something is real or not real. And it's a simple criteria. Does it change? And does it last forever? If it changes, and if it doesn't last forever, it's not real. So this house is not real because it's going to change and it's not going to last forever. If you come 500 years from now, something else is going to be here. If you come 1,000 years after that, something else is going to be here. Humans might not even be here. Who knows? The UAPs are here, the unidentified anomalous phenomena is happening, and the UFOs, unidentified flying objects. It's all happening. Who knows? We might have a takeover. Who knows? We might all just, I don't know what's going to happen. I do know this. It will change. Oh, it's going to change. And this thing we're in, it doesn't last forever. Your life here doesn't last forever. And you're always changing. So then you know it can't be real. Because there are certain things that last forever and do not change. Love does not change. Source, the creator spirit, does not change. I'm not talking about Jehovah, Yahweh, all these gods that we made up and the angry God of the Bible. That's not who I'm talking about when I say source. So if you're still on the Old Testament Bible God, you're in another lane than the lane that I'm currently in. If you'd like, you can come to this lane and look around and see, or you could just stay in the lane you are. It's all good. I can talk to people in different lanes. It's all good. So you're in this construct. Look around. Look, this is not real. This is not real. This is not real. This is not real. This hand, this is not real. Now, I know it's very difficult for us to fathom this, and it is very difficult for us to wrap our minds around this because we spend so much of our time not only trying to convince ourselves that this thing is real, we spend so much time trying to make the construct the best construct that we can make it. And that would be called the devil if we deny the divine beyond it. Now, if you make it the best you can make it from the divine beyond it, well, that's heaven on earth. That's the way to do it. The way to do it is to go to the divine source and have it bring to bear on this dimension to make this dimension the best it can be. This time space, well, scientists call it space time. So we'll just call it space time. To make space time great, because you're going to be in space time for, I don't know, 100 years, give or take. So if you're going to be in this space time for 100 years, which, by the way, in universal terms is nothing. It's like one universal second, 100 years in this space time, because this space time is really slowed down. It's a very slow dimension, super slow. And what they have found beyond space time, yes, scientists are pressing beyond space time so they can find out, well, what's past this? Because Professor Hoffman calls this your headset. You have a headset. Now, here's another function of space-time, and I'm going to tell you how this connects with what we're talking about. Another function of space-time is if you're not looking at it, it's not there. I know. If you're not looking at the moon is not there. If you're not looking at your computer is not there. None of these things really exist. None of these things have permanence. They're impermanent, meaning you believe they're there. So when you look at it, it's there. When you're not here and you're not looking at it, it doesn't exist. I know that's super, super, super. It's just very, what's the word, Spirit? Unsettling. Thank you, Spirit. It's very unsettling because nothing is as we were taught. So now we begin to understand why energy healing works, why magic works, why sorcery works, why people right now, there's a sorcerer right now somewhere on the planet, many of them talking to demons right now, how they're doing that, how people are talking to angels, how astrology works, all of it. So if beyond space-time is bringing to bear on space-time, then what if you went beyond space-time? Because remember, space-time is about action. This is the world of, according to Kabbalah, action and activation. You have to do things. You have to do things. You have to do things. If you went beyond space-time and used spiritual energies and you used emotional energies to bear on space-time, would you have to do as much physical energy in space-time? No. That's why my mom taught us people that use the more you use your head, the less you have to use your hands. That's why people who dig ditches every day doing this don't make a lot of money. But somebody who sits and uses their brain all day, like maybe like a neuroscientist, he's standing there. Let's say a brain surgeon, super smart, right? We would hope. Really good brain surgeon, super smart. He knows a lot. She knows a lot. They're standing there and they might be moving the tiniest little thing, and it might take them an hour in a long surgery to move the tiniest little thing. They're not expending a lot of energy because their brain is so smart. And they're getting paid a boatload more money than this person who's expended all this energy. It's not about your actions. And it's not even about your actions when it comes to wealth creation, because one of my favorite people to listen to, one of my beloved coaches online, is Alex Hormozy. And he said a powerful statement the other day. I heard from him. He didn't say it the other day. I don't know when he filmed the video. The other day I heard it. And this powerful statement is, you don't get rich by what you do, you get rich by what you own. Now, obviously, you would have to do things to own things. You own assets. That's what makes you wealthier. Owning assets. And as a financial advisor with American Express for over 7 years, managing money for all these hundreds of clients, it was beautiful, it was amazing. Those clients all wanted assets. We did their net worth when they came in, and then we would compare the net worth each year as we work with them. You want the asset side to be higher than the liability side. And in the club that I'm in, we have a financial aspect of our wellness club. In our wellness club, we teach financial freedom. That's in our mastermind. It's at ValerieLove.com. Click on coaching. We teach financial freedom, how to be completely debt-free. So on net worth side, you want liabilities to go down as assets go up, or liabilities to completely disappear, all liabilities that are not helping you get more assets. And assets going up, especially if you have income producing assets, best kind of assets to have, income producing assets. Well, I won't say the best kind of assets to have, because Bitcoin is not necessarily an income producing asset, yet Bitcoin is an asset that you cannot even think that you want to live without. Don't even think about it. So when you see the Black Rocks of the world talking about they're buying Bitcoin and they're about to, when Wall Street jumps into Bitcoin, which we always knew would happen, here they are. So the mechanism in the construct, if you want to pile up wealth in this construct, now trust me, beyond space-time, nobody uses money. It's useless beyond space-time. That's why they always say you can't take it with you, when you die. It's so important in space-time. Beyond space-time, it means nothing. If you gave a pile of gold to an angel, they would look at you like, what? Means nothing. Something that means so much to us in space-time, in the construct. That'll help you with some detachment and not being so attached, because the shit means nothing. In dimensions, other dimensions and realms beyond space-time, it means nothing. And we already described the mathematical terminology that we live in such a thin illusion. This is not even a really deep illusion, only 10 to the minus 33 degrees. 10 to the minus 33 degree, 10 to the minus 43 degrees, 10 to the minus 33 centimeters. It's not that deep even. Like if you probe and probe and probe, like I said, you go deeper, deeper, deeper. You at 10 to the minus 33 degrees, space-time falls apart and fails. It stops having any significant meaning. That means you can get to the edge of space-time kind of fast. So then, wow. Then why are we so blindfolded and hypnotized that we think the third dimension is all? When the physicists have already told us this is not all. As a matter of fact, not only is it not all, it's probably one of the flimsiest dimensions in the whole universe. Because this one only has, like we said, 11 or 12 dimensions that science can speak of. It's space-time. But if you go into another one, think Doctor Strange, think the mirror dimension, think these different dimensions that they were hopping into. Other dimensions could have 1,000 other worlds. I won't call them dimensions, because within the world, there's dimensions. There is another world that could have 1,000 dimensions. Ours has 11. Actually, it really only has about 4 or 5 that are useful for most people. First, second, third, 3D. 3D is such a, wow, that's amazing. We got 3D movies. We put on plastic in front of our eyes and it's like, wow, the dinosaur in Jurassic Park is right in front of me. Whoa. Do you realize that other worlds, that would look like something kids play with in kindergarten? And that's our big technology. One of the people who saw the UFO containing unidentified anomalous phenomena, a pilot, I don't know, it's a non-human being, so we would just call it a UAP. One of the pilots who saw it said that the thing was moving so fast, it's faster than any flight technology that we have. The thing was moving so fast that if a human was in it, the G-force would have killed the human. But these things are able to go super fast and the G-force doesn't kill them at all. That means this thing we're in, it's pretty dumbed down. I've come to understand that space-time is probably the thinnest starter. I won't say starter because it's a very difficult dimension to live in, a world to live in. It's not very robust and it's not very dense. Maybe when you graduate from here, you go to another world and that world has 1,000 dimensions. So I say all this to expand your mind beyond the third dimension and what you can see, touch, taste, hear, smell. You've got to go so far beyond these 5 to the whole energetic workings of the universe, and then you'll start to get somewhere. That's what this is about. You can't do magic and be riveted to the 5 senses and think the 5 senses is all there is. When magic is far beyond the 5 senses. Magic is influencing what you will pick up with your 5 senses. Magic is far beyond the 5 senses. So in this one, we're teaching you to get into the feeling, the energetic vibration of being rich now and not being the one who walked around with all the, the swirl of unsuccess. Some people are walking around, their dominant vibration is a swirl of unsuccess, a swirl of confusion, a swirl of struggle, a swirl of can't do it, a swirl of people are always getting in front of me. Like the man at the pool of Bethesda, not sure how I'm pronouncing, if I'm pronouncing that correctly or not. Like the man at the pool that was there for over 30 years. And Jesus said, do you want to be well? How long have you been here? And he didn't say it with judgment like I'm saying it. How long have you been here? 36 years. And then the next question is, do you want to be well? Because even Jesus had that question. Do you want to do something else? If you've been here 36 years, maybe you want to do this. Yes, I want to be well. The angel used to come down and trouble the water every single day at the same time of day. Every single day at the same time of day, the angel came down and troubled the waters. If you got in the water when the angel troubled the waters, you were healed instantaneously. People were bringing their kids and bringing their sick people and bringing their lame people and all that and get in the pool and well and get out. This man laying on the side. Jesus said, how long have you been here? 36 years. How come you haven't gotten in yet? Because every time the angel comes, that was what? Excuses. Every time the angel came, I can't get in because people run ahead of me because I don't. Jesus is the ultimate life coach. He was like, do you want to be made well? Yes, then pick up your cot and walk. And in that instant, the man picked up and got his cot and walked. Stop telling yourself these stories, right? So we've been walking around with these things or lying around with these things or being with these things for so long that they're almost invisible to us. We cannot see that we have a swirl around us of force. Some people are forceful. We have a swirl around us of fight. You know, those people, they're ready for a fight. What? Oh, something popping off? No. Calm down, Ray from around the corner. Calm down, Ray. There's no fighting. Oh, because Ray ready to fight everybody all the time. Why? That's just a spirit. Some people just have a spirit of sadness. They just come in. What's wrong with you? Oh no, I'm just sad. Okay. Okay. Do you want to be made well, beloved? Is there something different you want to do with yourself, your life, and your energy? So when you see people present, people have prevailing attitudes that are what we're talking about right here in 24. They don't have a prevailing attitude of feeling good, being rich. They don't have a prevailing attitude of everything's paid and everything's paid off. They don't have a prevailing attitude of everything works out perfectly for me. Me and my son were just talking about that this morning. EWAP, everything works out perfectly. Everything works out perfectly. Everything works out perfectly for me and mine and for everyone. Everything works out perfectly. Yeah, only good and all good comes to me. Only good. I'm looking for the 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 lofty, for the wonderful. Because that's the only thing that unfolds in my life. What is your prevailing modus operandi? What is the feeling that's fueling you? And 24 is about feeling good, being rich. It's super simple. Somebody reading this book might be like, okay, whatever. This book is kindergarten. Great. It's kindergarten to write it, and it's kindergarten to read it. Doing it is where the rubber meets the road. Changing your dominant vibration to peace or beauty or bliss or thankfulness or gratitude or ecstasy or enthusiasm. And you don't change your dominant vibration based on what is happening, based on what other people have chosen as their dominant vibration, based on anything that is going on anywhere in this thin little world that we call the time, space-time. You choose your vibration and then you keep it. You stay there. If somebody can walk along and knock you off your peace, love vibration, well, boo, that just means practice holding the vibration more. Decide to be rich. Step 1, decide to be rich. 2, rich is a feeling. Feel rich now. Now, here is a great secret of manifestation. I'm going to come off screen share for a second to share this. Here is a great secret of manifestation. Please put this in the chat. You are only ever after a feeling. I'm going to say that again. You are only ever after a feeling. I'll prove it to you. You want more money. Why? Oh, Reverend Val, I want to travel the world. I want to see all these new things in the world. I want to do all these wonderful things in the world. Okay, why? Because not really why. Like, okay, so what's under that? What's under that? What's under I want to travel the world? Oh, I've always wanted to go to Paris and see the Eiffel Tower. Beautiful. What's under that? Oh, I just feel like I would feel so inspired and I would just want to jump up in my life and do amazing things. Boom, you want to be inspired. Be inspired now. Oh, that's how it works. I feel the feeling now. I feel inspired now. And then the universe puts things like the Eiffel Tower in front of me. That's how I got to the Eiffel Tower the first time, along with a wonderful coach. You are only ever after a feeling. You want a feeling. Okay, you want a new car. I got many examples. Trust me, I've been coaching clients for almost 19 years. It's over 18 years. Got plenty of examples. You want a baby. I just want to feel that feeling of loving and nurturing and taking care of it. Having a baby is all about feelings. You want to pour your love into someone. You want to take care of someone. You want to see this beautiful family growing. What is all that? That's all feelings. It's feelings of belonging. It's some of the deepest feelings that humans have. Feelings of belonging, feelings of love, feelings of nurture, feelings of connectedness, feelings of bonds, feelings of intimacy, feelings of growing old together. Those are all feelings. There's nothing to do with kids. Yeah, we're always splattering our feelings out there on things and thinking the thing is going to give us the feeling. A thing can never give you a feeling. A thing can never give you a feeling. A boo can never give you a feeling of love. It's just the system doesn't work that way, beloved. Nothing can give you a feeling. Not a house. A house can't give you a feeling. And you can tell that things don't give you feelings because when you get the car, you're so happy because you convinced yourself to be happy because you thought that a car was going to make you happy. And then after you have the car for 6 months or 9 months or a year, and you no longer have the new car smell inside the car, you no longer have the same feeling every time you get in the car. Why? Because you're in charge of your feelings and you can choose to turn them on or turn them off. So we're in love with what we think we're going to feel like when we get the things we want, which means you're not really after anything. You're just after a feeling then. Oh, so I want a brand new house. Why do I want a brand new house? And I got it. I manifested all these things. You've manifested all these things. Houses and cars and businesses and money and wonderful business partners and wonderful opportunities. You've manifested all these things. And we thought that once we got them, we were going to have some kind of feeling. And then you have some kind of disappointment when you got the thing, but your feeling didn't sustain. I have a reverse way of doing it. Feel the feelings now. Okay, you want a brand new car. You think a brand new car is going to make, I want a Bugatti. Okay, tell me more about the Bugatti. I don't care what clients tell me they want. They want a Bugatti, they want a mansion, they want to go to Seychelles, they want a baby, they want a boo, they want a fabulous, sexy body. It doesn't matter what they tell me they want. I already know what they really want. They really want some feelings, and we've got to get to the root of what it is for that client. So let's take a Bugatti. Oh, you want a Bugatti? Okay, great. Yes, the universe always says yes, but know why you want the thing. Okay, you want a Bugatti. Great. Tell me more about the Bugatti. Oh, I just went to the car dealership. I sat in the Bugatti. Oh, that thing was amazing. I felt the leather. I put my hand on the steering wheel. These are all feelings. You sat in the car. It felt so what? It felt good, Reverend Val. Okay, what kind of good did it feel like? It felt like I was in charge. It felt, So you don't feel in charge. You want to feel in charge, but you don't feel in charge because you think this car is going to make you feel in charge. Let's go further. It's starting to come out. Oh my goodness. I was just feeling the steering wheel and it just felt like butter. Like this is the best kind of car that I've ever had in my life. So you want to go for new experiences. You want something better than you've ever had in your life. You want an elevation. You want success. You want accomplishment. You want to go up to your Mount Everest. Yes, I want to feel like I'm doing it. You're making boss moves. You want to feel like a boss. All of these are feelings, beloved, and you can feel all these feelings right now sitting in your ratty apartment with roaches. Now, none of us have a ratty apartment with roaches. I used to, but not anymore. I used to live in a ratty apartment with roaches. Well, it wasn't ratty. Well, it was ratty because we had rats too in the hood. We had rats, mice, and roaches. So I can't. Yeah, it's true. It's true. I checked it for truthfulness and the veracity. I checked it for veracity, and it is true. So okay, but we don't have that anymore. You could be sitting right now in an undesirable experience or condition. The experience what's on the inside, the condition is on the outside. You could be sitting in an undesirable condition right now and still feel the feelings of what it would be like to be in the conditions that you desire. If you don't have the money, you can feel the feelings of, ooh, it sure feels good to be rich. It feels good to be rich. Leave an extra tip. Do the things that make you feel rich. See, you might not have $17 million right now, right? That my former husband won in the lottery. You might not have $17 million right now. Will you tip like you do? Tip like you do. So you can go to a restaurant and maybe you don't have $17 million. Maybe you have a few $100,000 or a couple of million. And as you're in the restaurant and your meal is $30, give them another 30 for the tip. You can do that and feel really rich And imagine that this is a $300 tab that you just picked up for you and a friend as you were in a wonderful restaurant. And then, or maybe you had a couple of shots and each shot was 150. And then you tipped the bartender another 300. And you walked out and you felt so rich. You got to feel these feelings now. If you cannot walk around with your dominant feelings something else and create apart or different or distinct from your dominant feelings. Let's conclude. Going back on screen share. What I did was I just came up with a mantra. And I used to say it to myself all the time. Woo, it sure feels good to be rich. Woo, it sure feels good to be rich, baby. Now, I didn't tell myself I am rich because affirmations don't work. I already did a video about that on the channel years ago. Watch it. And that tells you specifically why affirmations do not work. Stop using affirmations. Do mantras instead. A mantra is a creative statement, a statement of creation. An affirmation just affirms the energy that you're putting forth. And most people don't want to affirm the energy they're putting forth. They want to change the energy. Then for that, you need a mantra. It sure feels good to be rich. Feel it. Breathe it. Ooh, it sure feels good to be rich. Get it down in your cells of your body. Ooh, it sure feels good to be rich. Get it in the strands of your hair. And tone it, dance it, sing it. Give thanks to be a rich person on planet Earth who does a wealth of good. If you do not feel the feelings, getting whipped up in the feelings, and you're good at this, and you know who's excellent at this? Kids. I have to have that bicycle. They're like, they're all in the feelings. But once you got too grown and got to adulting, you got so contained. Why are you so contained in your adulting? It's not proper and prim and held together. I have to look like I have it together all the time, even though I don't. Kids, man, they're all in their feelings. And kids let that energy flow through, and kids are the best manifestors, and they know nothing about money. None of these kids have any jobs. None of these kids have money. How are these kids getting everything? They're getting clothes, they're getting the sneakers they want, they're getting the bikes they want, they're getting what they want for Christmas, all these kids. And even if you don't get exactly what you want, you were still a great manifester when you were a kid because you knew how to put your whole feelings into it, and you fell asleep thinking about the bike, and you were riding the bike in your dreams, in your sleep. Like they just so hurl themselves into the thing that they're just so good. But here you are doing a spell. Okay, I command thee more riches and wealth in the universe. I said all the words. How come I don't see it? Oh, let me go back to being sad again about my situation. Whoo! Whoo! Everything is energy. Everything is energy. Yes, beloved. I promise you this works. From a whole house in Mexico, I'm telling you, I could just walk you around my house. It's beautiful. It's lovely. $1,000 furniture, my furniture, thousands of dollars that I'm sitting on right now. After you get the hang of this, it ain't hard to manifest in this thin space-time. You're in a space-time construct. You're in an illusion. Whip up whatever you want. Whip up a mansion. Who cares? You're going to leave it when you leave and go back into your big self. Because right now you just scrunched a part of your awareness into a little tiny body so you could walk around this and then look around. But we take this thing so literally and so real. This thing is not real. This thing is not real. I'm going to go and get myself some breakfast because for me, it's 2 hours difference. So it's 12 noon in Eastern time when we do this live stream. And it is 10 a.m. where I am in Mexico. And so I'm going to go to one of my favorite, look, I'm already feeling the feelings right now. One of my favorite cafes where I live. I have many. My favorite little restaurants, cafes, shops, stores. Oh my goodness, I have many. I'm going to go to one that I haven't been to in months because I haven't been to it since I've been back in Mexico. For instance, before I went to all the places that we went to. We went to New Orleans, Baton Rouge, my daughter's beautiful graduation from LSU. We went to Las Vegas for the Christian Witches Convention. We went to Greece and Italy for the incredible Greece and Italy retreats. We're about to go to Egypt, and wow. We're cooking up some good stuff for you for the Lionsgate, so stay tuned. I love you. Peace. KAISI out. Love you. Subscribe, comment, share.